The reality is, like, when you feel like we're in it together, like I'm not just like checking a box for like a weekly call or to be part of a program, it does make you want to work harder to engage differently. And Building Champions gave me not just the tools and resources to figure out what needed to be the priority in a given season, but also they really allowed me to exhale when I wasn't my best self in those other areas because it was intentional. My name is Amy Ohde. I have the pleasure of working at Chick-fil-A's home office. I've been there for 22 years, and my current role is the Executive Director of Launch Support. Our team, we are responsible for several things. One, we open all of our restaurants domestically and internationally. We lead all of our company-operated restaurants, and the thing that we're probably most excited about is we lead our leadership development program at Chick-fil-A. At Building Champions, I felt like whatever the system or the process was that was shared with me, it was always able to be tweaked based on my unique needs, based on my unique season. I greatly appreciate that. They come with deep expertise, but they come with a listening ear first. Really trying to understand, what do I need as an individual, not just as a leader. I have never walked away from a Building Champions engagement, one-on-one, or group dynamic experience where I didn't feel better because of it. More inspired and more hopeful about the person that I could become, or the way that we could interact as a team if we did it as a team. There are so many outcomes that I can talk about that I think Building Champions had a direct influence over. One I'll share specifically, when we were early on in our journey around high performance leadership teams, we had an operator in one of our Texas markets who was really struggling to figure out how to lead through his people. Building Champions was able to come alongside that leader to not only lead differently better, enjoy the journey more. He became the highest volume operator in our chain and eventually became multi-restaurant within our system. And I'm not suggesting that Building Champions solved all of his problems, but the fundamental idea of how to lead well through people, create vision, cast vision, create followership, that came from Building Champions. And not only that, and in his life, he was in such a great place. And I think Building Champions had a huge part in that. Working with Building Champions for 15 years, one of the biggest impacts that they've had on my life is how to be a better mom while also balancing a really stressful job. And recently I celebrated my 20th anniversary at Chick-fil-A, and my two kids spoke at that celebration. And for them to talk about the way that I was able to do both and the example that I set for them, I would be lying if I didn't tell you that Building Champions had a huge part in how they experienced me as a mom, and that's what I'm most grateful for.